In this tutorial, I'm going to look at 3 of the functions from the data menu option that I think you're most likely to need with your projects: changing the data type, coding, and copying. The data I'm working with is the real estate data set that you can find on Blackboard. And I'll start off with just talking about data types. By default, Minitab mostly sees data types as numerical, but you'll see along the top here that there's a T at the top of this column, and that means it realizes that this is a text column. If you have a column that has numbers in it, but the numbers actually don't have any numerical meaning, such as in regions 1, 2, 3, and 4, we can change that so that Minitab will see it as a text column and treat it as categories, not as numbers. So if we go to Data, change data type, it is a numeric column and we want to change it text. We're going to take region and we can store it back into the same column, or if you're worried you're going to make a mistake, you might want to store it in a new column, but I'm just going to store it back into the same one in this case. And now we can see that there's a T at the top, so it sees there's a column and it's on the left instead of the right. The next function you might like to use is the coding data, and this allows you to change a whole of categories to new values, or you can go through and actually change values to new values. So numeric to numeric, numeric to text, numeric to date time, etc. In this case, perhaps with the region variable, instead of having 1, 2, 3, and 4, I might like to have north, south, east, and west, or something like that. So we've already changed it into a text column and we want to keep it as a text column, so I'll choose text to text. We're going to code the data from region, and we might store this in a new column called region 1, and now we just need to choose some labels. So if the original value was 1, we might write in north, 2, south, 3, east, and 4 west. Okay, and now we can see that it's my new column. You can scan through just to check that it's done it properly, and it has. So the final function I want to show you from the data menu is how to copy your data. Now this is very useful when you only want to look at part of your data set. So I'm going to look at columns to columns. Now I might be interested in both the selling price and the land area. I'm going to store it in the current worksheets in columns C10 and C11. And I want to subset the data. Now this means I just want to look at part of the data set and perhaps only want to look at houses that have got pools. So I'm going to choose rows that match a condition. Click on the condition, and I want pool to equal yes. Yes. And you need to be careful with Minitab. It is case sensitive and it likes its double quotes. You have to get this syntax exactly right, or it will pop up with an error message. So if you're trying to copy columns to columns and you do get an error message, the first thing you need to do is look at exactly what you've written here and check that it's the way Minitab wants it written. If you have any trouble, ask your tutor or click on the help and try and work it out for yourself. Okay, so now we can see the condition has been written in here. These are the rows that we're going to include. I could have also said specify the rows to exclude, and I could have exclude all the pools that don't, all the houses that don't have a pool, i.e. pool equals no. Okay. So you see that we've got 2 new columns now with selling price and land area, and this should just be the houses with pools. And if we scan down to see how many rows we've got, we'll see that this ends row 60. So only 60 out of total, where down all the way here, out of 278, only 60 of them have pools. Now we can with that subset of the data separately.